my first exposure to Lemurians, I've spoken about at length in different locations and times. And it was in 2006 when Brett, my son, was just either 4 weeks old or 4 months old. I can't remember. He was really tiny. And I woke up one day around 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And I turned around to my husband. I said, I need a mountain. I need to get to a mountain right now. I needed the energy of the mountain. I just needed it. And he says, what mountain? I mean, he was like waking up, what mountain, which mountain where? And I says, I don't care. Just take me to the closest mountain. And he says, well, there's a mountain about 4 hours away. It's called Mount Shasta. And I said, sure, whatever. Take me there. He says, okay. So he gets up, And I get up really fast, get the baby ready. I'm in the car, right? And, he drives us there like for 4.5 hours or whatever. And we get there and I said, no, higher. And we're going on the road that goes up the mountain, different car parks. And then eventually we get to the height that I felt good, right? And I came out of the car and I put Brett in his little carrier on a picnic table. And there was a few people there in the car park already. And I breathe in and out for about, I don't know if it was minutes, half an hour. Like, okay, that's good. Let's go home now. And he's looking at me going, we're not going home. I just drove 4.5 hours. We're going to stay here the night. And I go, okay, right. I was fine, right? I was good now. So I booked us a little place in the town of Shasta. And I says, okay. So we drove back down there and went to the hotel. And the hotel was in a corner. It had glass all around. And inside, it looked like a store, like a shop. And I was holding Brett in the carrier this time, right? And I was looking at everything. The windows had lots of gadgets and like little things and pretties and crystals and everything, right? And little pamphlets and tourist things, but a lot of pretty things. And I love pretty things and I love crystals and I love all these things. And then as I'm standing there with the baby, I look out the window and I see a woman walking down the street towards the hotel. And suddenly she stops and looks at me and her eyes get all big. And then she starts walking really fast towards the hotel. And she comes in and goes straight to me. And I'm thinking, she thinks this is a store or something. And I said, I think this is a hotel. I don't think it's a store. I started talking to her, right? Because I thought, because of the way she was coming towards me, like she was going to ask me about something, or I don't know. Thought maybe I worked there. And she said, no. She said, I have something for you. And I'm like, okay. Like, this is before I went public. So nobody knew who I was. Right. And she said, yes. She said, it's a Lemurian crystal. And the Lemurians gave it to me in person. They gave me this crystal in person when I was with them. And they said, this is for somebody who you're going to meet in the future. And you will know when you meet this person. And this crystal is for them. And it's you. And here it is. And she hands me this little crystal. And in my head, I'm going, cuckoo girl. This is a cuckoo girl, okay. Going behind my baby a little bit, Thank you. And she says, oh, yeah. And she tells me she'd had it for years. I can't remember now the years, but I wrote it somewhere. It was a lot of years. She'd been carrying this crystal with her 24/7. So when she met this person, she could give it to them, right? And and she took it out of her purse. So, she says, okay, it's like, that's all. And they said, I'm going to leave now, because she realized that I was like, what the hell is happening here? This crazy lady, So she made me feel better and she left. And she was all happy and she left, And then I went up to my husband, who was checking in at the hotel, still in the counter. And I say to him, do you know what a Lemurian is? because I'd never heard that word before in my life. Still holding this crystal, right? And the lady behind the counter, she says, "Oh, yeah, Lemurians. We have them here at Shasta. And here's a leaflet about them." And she hands me this little pamphlet thing, all about the Lemurians. She says, "Oh, there's tours and all sorts of things you can do to go to find out about the Lemurians." So I grab the pamphlet and we take it to a room and I start reading it, right? And I was like, what? And it's all the things they say about in Shasta about Lemurians, being in this, they live inside the mountain and all sorts of things, and it's like some of these things didn't resonate with me, like living inside the mountains or whatever, but it's like, okay, I'm going to investigate a little bit more. And this crystal was beautiful, and it was definitely different to any crystal that I ever had. And there was like a definite energy and frequency. So throughout after that, like I started connecting more and finding out who they were and why they wouldn't just come to my door and why they wanted to connect with me in the first place and all the things. So that was quite an interesting journey.